Bring them out then. Go back in there and bring them out.
I prompted him out. Okay, let me try again.
All right. All right, Mr. Lynch, giving you an opportunity to speak to counsel. It's I'm trying to understand. You want to contest these matters?
I had to go back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I had to go back in because I didn't get no prompt. I had to go back in to join in through 36 District Court website.
No. Well, listen. What we're saying is that we're trying to get you an offer, but it's my understanding after talking with your lawyer that that you don't want to accept anything. What do you want to? What do you want to do?
The thing is, I don't know what court cases is being brought up. The recent ones or the one that I already have a trial for.
I think all of the cases that are on the docket, everything that's on the docket, that you already had all this stuff set for trial. And what we did probably, okay, I see.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're diving into the wild world of self-proclaimed sovereign citizens versus real-world law. Our main character, Mr. Lynch, thinks Google is a law degree and that the Supreme Court has his back on driving without a license. But he's about to learn that Judge Perkins isn't impressed by fantasy law or YouTube citations. We've got Zoom mishaps, missing paperwork, and enough courtroom chaos to fill a full season of reality TV. So, buckle up. This isn't just a trial. It's a masterclass in what happens when confidence meets actual law. Stick around because the twists just keep coming and the drama is real. Will Mr. Lynch outwit the system, or will reality slam the brakes on his fantasy? Let's find out.
I see.
I sent some paperwork in, but some of those cases I got kicked out of Zoom. I send in the pictures through that document website, and I don't know, and I send paperwork to the law department for a FOIA for the court cases.
Okay, what documents did you send in to the court?
It was the case where I had got kicked out of Zoom, and I sent in the pictures where I got kicked out of Zoom. I think that was the January of this year case. And they was like, if I sent in the pictures showing that I was kicked out of the room because I thought the case was dismissed, and I got kicked out.
Okay, so what do you have any documents that relates to your driver's license, insurance, or registration?
Like told the lady, the one I meet him, the judge, the person that I talked to on the last court case said, we don't have no problems with you. And I said, I'm going through the process of doing my documents to take care of Dearborn, because Dearborn the one that got him.
Listen, now we're not talking about Dearborn. We're talking about Detroit. Do you have any documents? Hold on, let me ask my question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask my question. Do you have any documents that suggest that you have valid insurance, valid registration, and a valid I can run your driver's license?
I don't have anything. I don't have anything because Dearborn the one that got me hemmed up. I can't even get no insurance without no license.
Here's where it starts getting interesting. Mr. Lynch is trying to figure out which cases he's even supposed to be on trial for, while the court is trying to make sense of his paperwork. Let me break it down. Some cases are being dismissed because the officers aren't present. Only the tickets from Corporal Bennett and Officer Dunn are in play. For anyone watching at home, this is a key legal point. If the officers who issued tickets don't appear, those cases get dismissed automatically. Yet Mr. Lynch is still chasing an impossible dream of proving he's above the law. Who here would accept an offer at this point, and who would risk a full trial? Let us know in the comments.
Okay, so so what we're trying to do, every case that you have down here in Detroit, we call into the record, and we have two officers. The other cases are going to be dismissed, but we have two officers here that are here, and what we're trying to do is either make a resolution now, and we'll present you with an offer, And if you don't like the offer, you can just go to trial. Today is the
Yeah,
date and time.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Today is the date and time set for trial. So
Oh, yeah,
are you willing to entertain an offer to resolve the cases, or do you want a trial on all the cases?
I mean, which did you just say some of them are gonna get dismissed? I only have two. I know the one that I recently got, everything is for the same thing.
Yes. So here's the
basically,
deal. Here's the deal. Let me break it down to you. It's two officers that are here. Corporal Bennett wrote you 1, 2, 3 tickets that are up to date, and Officer Dunn wrote you 1, 2, 3 tickets that are up to date. The other officers that wrote you tickets are not showing up, have not showed up, and we're just going to automatically dismiss those cases. So we can get you an offer on the 6 tickets that those 2 officers wrote you. Are you willing to entertain the offer for those 6 tickets?
Bennett and Dunn. Bennett is the recent case, so that one I want to go to trial. I think the one I'm in trial for now is Dunn, correct?
You're on trial for both of them. Dunn and Bennett are separate.
Now we hit the core of the chaos. Mr. Lynch claims he doesn't need a license, registration, or insurance, citing Supreme Court rulings as his authority. Folks, this is a classic sovereign citizen move. Ignore decades of traffic law and hope YouTube logic prevails. Here's the reality. Driving is a regulated privilege, not a free-for-all. Judge Perkins calmly points out the obvious. You're better off with valid documents than ending up with fines, a towed car, or worse. Watching this, you can see the clash between internet mythology and real law unfold. Would you take the risk of driving without insurance, knowing how quickly this can spiral into legal trouble?
Now.
So nobody received my paperwork, my traveling paperwork?
What is the paperwork going to sell us?
Basically, I don't need no driver license, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that's
no proof of insurance. And my car was towed illegally those 2 times.
What does the paperwork say why you don't need a driver's license, why you don't need any insurance or anything like that?
I send the paperwork into the law department, and I wanted the FOIA for the body cam and dash cams. And I haven't heard anything from them.
All right, we can get you that. We can get you that. If there's some of that exists. Corporal Bennett, can you put your appearance record, Corporal Bennett? Hold on, Mr. Lynch.
Yes, Your Honor. Corporal Daryl Bennett, badge 4320, Detroit Police Department.
All right. So we need to get if there's any body cam or dash cam, we need to get that to Mr. Lynch.
He has to go through the law department to get that, Your Honor. If he's requesting it, he has to go through the law department.
Well, that's what he said he tried to do. He said he tried to. Let's see if we can get that now.
We can't get, Your Honor, our person that would do that is on vacation at this point. There's nobody in the office that can get that for him today.
Okay, now can I say something for the traffic ticket that was done? The other officer
no.
Your Honor, can we just get an adjourn date when the people think they can have their video available?
Yeah, but I wanna just, what I'm trying to do is I don't want you to say anything as it relates to the traffic stops right now, because today is the date and time set for trial. But I'm going to tell you this.
This segment is pure chaos. Mr. Lynch can't even figure out Zoom, keeps getting kicked out of breakout rooms, and struggles to attach documents correctly. Meanwhile, Judge Perkins has to manage not only the legal content, but also these technical hurdles. Here's a tip for viewers. In modern courtrooms, tech skills are almost as important as legal understanding. The irony. Mr. Lynch is trying to fight the law while failing at the most basic procedural steps. It's like watching someone try to perform surgery with oven mitts on. Painful, but oddly compelling.
You're suggesting, it sounds like you were suggesting that you don't have to have license or registration or insurance. Is that what you were saying?
I have documentation of that from the Supreme Court rulings, yes.
All right, well, you need to get me that documentation because
But what's the email so I can send it to you?
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Okay, my phone not seeing none of that. Only thing I'm seeing on my cell phone now, if I was on my desktop, remember last time I had issues with my desktop, so I'm on the cell phone and I don't see no chat or anything.
Well, you should be able to hit the button down there and it should
Okay,
pop
let me
up.
see, can I see something? Cause all I see a whole bunch of squares with everybody's face.
You gotta come out of that screen.
Huh?
You gotta come out of that screen.
What screen I gotta come out of?
The one you have to come out of the screen where everybody's face is.
Okay, I don't know how to do that. I don't want to lose it. I don't want to get kicked out like I just did when I was in the breakout room.
You didn't get kicked out. We pulled you. All right.
I had to join back in through. I had to go back to 36 District Court website, get back in the Zoom room.
Okay. All right. Let's pass the matter and we'll try to figure out how to help you with the technology. And in the meantime, we need to. Do you want an attorney appointed to you, sir?
I've been trying to get an attorney. Nobody will take my case. So how if the appointed attorney don't want to accept my paperwork, then I'm up the creek like in Dearborn. So that's why I'm trying to study how to write the court cases all the way to the Supreme Court. So I'm doing that right now.
All right. Well,
Dearborn is the reason why my license is suspended.
I really want to see what you're talking about, Supreme Court, because I've never seen a Supreme Court case. Wait a minute. Let me finish. I've never seen a Supreme Court case that says that you don't have to have a license or insurance or registration. Now I'll tell you this. I'll admit, I haven't seen all the Supreme Court cases, but I have never seen that. And I've seen a thousand people come in here saying that. Well, not 1,000, but a whole lot. And I've never seen it work.
So when Mr. Bennett Officer Bennett pulled me over, he was like, no, I ain't. He said, I ain't going for that sovereignty stuff. I said, I don't know what that is. I'm talking Constitutional Supreme Court ruling, and they told my car.
Here's where it gets hilarious and tragic at the same time. Mr. Lynch insists he has Supreme Court authority to ignore licenses, registration, and insurance. Judge Perkins, however, is having none of it. And for good reason. There is no such ruling. What's fascinating is watching the disconnect between Mr. Lynch's self-taught sovereign studies and the actual law. Every citation he waves around either doesn't apply or directly contradicts him. This is textbook legal irony. The cases prove the opposite of his argument, and for the audience, take note. Courtroom success isn't about confidence, it's about accuracy, evidence, and precedent. Anyone can quote Google. Few survive real scrutiny.
Okay, after 36, what was it? I didn't get that part.
After 36 is districtcourt.org.
Okay, I'm gonna send it, I'm gonna get it online and send it on my laptop.
I'm gonna be anxiously awaiting that. All right.
All right.
I'm
gonna send the law department thing too.
I'll be anxiously waiting all of that, and I'll pass the matter. It looks like Corporal Bennett is gonna be anxiously awaiting. It's gonna look like Officer Dunn is gonna be anxiously awaiting. Prosecutor Mason is gonna be anxiously awaiting, and I'm sure Ms. Soroki is gonna be, and everybody else in the room. Because this could be some groundbreaking stuff right here.
Here's the moment of peak fantasy law. Absurdity. Mr. Lynch openly admits he just Googled Supreme Court says I don't need a driver's license. And that, folks, is the origin story of most sovereign citizen filings. Judges see this all the time. Bold claims, fake citations, and zero comprehension of legal nuance. It's like bringing a homemade rocket to a NASA launch. Judge Perkins has seen this script before, and the outcome is always the same. fines, frustration, and complete failure. It's a courtroom version of cringeworthy internet content brought to life, and we're all here to witness it.
Okay, I'm trying to put the attachment in. Here it comes.
Now, have you read everything that you're about to send me?
Yes.
No, I bet you haven't.
No, the affidavit, yeah.
No, this case stuff you're about to send me.
Yes, it's only 2 attachments. I got to get the right one because the first email was the wrong stuff.
Are we on the record? Let's go back on the record with Lynch while he's sending that. Let's go back on the record with Lynch. While he's sending that, I'm going to say this. I hope you've read everything that you sent me, and because you're filing these documentations with the court, and you're suggesting that these documentations before are saying are in support of you not having to have a license and insurance and registration, I believe, or all 3 of the above, or at least one of them. Wait a minute. Let me finish making my record.
Okay.
You're suggesting that the Supreme Court says you need to have either none of those documents, or at least you don't have to have one of those documents. So all I'm saying is I hope that you are actually have read and gone over what you're sending the court, because as I said earlier, I've never seen anything that that supports what you're saying. I get people in here that submit. I can type in, don't need a driver's license in the search box, and they'll give me a list of cases. And I hope this is another document that he sent me. This is the U.S. Supreme Court travel rulings. Motion to set aside default. The case number is SP 15379-421 and SP 155-47541. To whom the dear Judge Sean B. Perkins, and to whom it may concern, the burden of truth is on me, or then it will just be my word against others' words. I, Clyde Darrell Lynch, always traveling, Supreme Court rulings on travel, along with being put in ransom for illegal profit gains against my federal freedoms / liberties and / or etc., as it is proven below, and an unnecessary burden of cash out of my pocket, etc. For what?
Now we hit the historical nonsense. Mr. Lynch cites Marbury versus Madison from 1803 and mixes in other travel rulings, trying to claim some magical immunity. The reality: these cases have nothing to do with modern vehicle operation. He even misuses civil rights cases like Shuttlesworth versus Birmingham to argue his right to drive unlicensed. Judges aren't just lawyers, they're historians, and they can spot this instantly. Misapplying a case from a century ago doesn't make your point. It makes you look desperate. For viewers, pay attention to how precedent is applied properly. It's never as simple as cherry-picking quotes online.
Question mark. I do not have gold or silver to pay this debt and / or a promissory note. Driver, one employee in conducting a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle with horses, mules, or other animals. Driving, I know everybody's looking at me like, what are you saying? Driving, operating in commerce, hire / profit. Marbury versus Madison, 1803 case. They weren't even cars on the road. All laws which are repugnant to the Constitution are null and void. Now, here's what I'm talking about. Here's what the court is talking about right here. I figured he was going to bring this up because all Mr. Lynch did was he went on the Google search and searched basically, I don't know exactly the terminology, but he put driving, don't need to drive without a license. And all of these same cases come up. And this one case really bothers me because that's why I asked Mr. Lynch, did he read the cases? Are you familiar with your Black history, Mr. Lynch?
Okay, is the paper that you're reading is the one that's saying titled Supreme Court ruling and U.S. Constitution?
Yes.
Okay, that's not updated, but the other ones I sent, those are the ones that's relevant. The one that say Law Depot, it's like 6 pages, but the last 3 is the affidavit and the FOIA paper. You already seen that for the dash cam, etc. But the Law Depot, the first 3 pages is just the website information telling you how to do it. I actually went to school for criminal justice and private investigator, but I didn't finish because I got kicked out for no necessary reason. I've been fighting that ever since. But I actually went to school for business management and law, but I didn't finish. So
I see.
So technically, but I went to a Morris facility and learned the Constitution and everything. So that's put all that together.
Here's another classic trope. Mr. Lynch claims a mix of law school, business school, and a Moorish temple certificate as his qualifications. It's a crash course in making excuses look impressive. Judge Perkins, of course, doesn't care about credentials from online courses or partial degrees. Courts respect verified education and legal authority, not anecdotal certificates. The takeaway: no matter how educated you think you are in your own bubble, real-world law is grounded in verified precedent and procedural correctness. Fantasy law gets crushed fast in a real courtroom, and we see it in action here.
Okay. So let's just take it down, break it down. What I asked you was, you provide me documentation to show proof that the Supreme Court says that you don't need a driver's license to drive a vehicle, right?
Your Honor.
I'm asking you a yes or no question.
Okay, all I want to say, that Supreme Court paper, you can forget about that. That Law Depot paper is what I've been working on, and I'm still trying to figure out how to go through the court cases all the way to the Supreme Court. So I'm studying and learning how to do that, to do this, to take care of Dearborn, because Dearborn is the one that got me in limbo right now.
But what I'm saying is, I don't need to see any Law Depot. I don't see any Law Depot. I asked you a question earlier. I said, I hope that you're bringing these, the stuff that you're, wait a minute. I asked you a question, and I said, I hope that you're sending me these papers and these cases and in support of you not having to drive with a license. And I hope that you've read the cases that you're using in support of what your belief of the law is and the Constitution and stuff. And I get this, and I've done it. You're not the first person that's done it. And the reason why I ask you, are you familiar with your African American history, particularly the civil rights movement, is because you have submitted a case, Shuttlesworth versus the city of Birmingham. And you submitted this case in support of you not having to drive with a license. And it's kind of like throwing mud in Reverend Shuttlesworth's case, because Mr. Shuttlesworth, I'm sure he was a reverend. I'm sure that Mr. Shuttlesworth had a valid license and doesn't believe what you're what you're trying to use this case law for. I wish you would have taken time to read what Reverend Shuttlesworth had to go through
How you doing?
on this day, on April 12th, 1963, when he's trying to fight for our civil rights.
So much better, like single.
Because I think if you would have read it, you would have seen that most of what you have put in here and all the cases that you have put in here are complete. A Shuttlesworth has nothing to do with what you're talking about. And the other case.
I understand that like I stated, Your Honor, that paper is not updated. That right there, I supposed to took that out. The Shuttleworth and through the Alabama. No, not Alabama. I supposed to have taken that out.
You're supposed to take all this stuff out because none of this stuff has anything to do with what you're talking about. None of it.
You read
actually, some of the cases are directly opposite, and they state that you have to have a ballot.
The infamous paperwork disaster. Mr. Lynch sends outdated or irrelevant documents, and Judge Perkins has to navigate the resulting mess. This is a critical teaching moment. Filing incomplete or wrong documents can hurt your case more than it helps. Courtroom procedure is strict, and even minor errors can have cascading consequences. You can almost hear the judge's patience evaporating. And for the audience, imagine sending an important application with the wrong attachments. Multiply that by the stakes of the law, and you get Mr. Lynch's predicament. Lesson learned. Always double-check your filings.
One with the wagon and the coach, what was that guy? He's in 1903. I forget the case. He's driving a coach. He's got a car in 1903. He's got a car in 1903. He had big money. And he's driving his car up this dirt road and he's speeding. And they give him a ticket. And they say, not that he doesn't have not to have a license. They just wanted to automatically revoke his license because he had a license without a hearing. And he's saying, you can't do that. I have to have a hearing before you're able to take my license from me. So he's not even saying what you say he's saying. So this stuff is
in Birmingham. I supposed to have took that out. Like I stated, I haven't updated that.
Well, you know something, I wish you would read this stuff before you even put it in this document. Because that's what you're supposed to do. I can hold you in contempt for filing filing this irrelevant stuff.
Do you get the law depot document 3?
I got the law depot document.
Okay, but basically that sums it up right there. That, like I said, that's not even updated paperwork. I sent that by mistake. That's why I sent the FRA paper. But that right there, I'm supposed to update that. But the law depot 3 document is 6 pages. The first 3 just tell you how to do the affidavit, which I forgot to do, but that refreshed my memory.
Well, that was a close one, boys and girls. If his memory had actually kicked in, he might have remembered to fill out his affidavit. And then we'd be talking about a whole new level of nonsense. Instead, we're left watching another sovereign scholar fumble his own paperwork into oblivion. It's the courtroom version of forgetting your homework and blaming the system. You can almost hear the judge's patience evaporating with every word. Another near miss in the never-ending parade of almost had it moments that define these cases. All talk, no law, and zero self-awareness.
You know, I'm going to tell you this. Everybody that's coming here with this, they didn't win. I'm going to say that first, right? And then some of the people agreed me and went to the Judicial Tenure Commission on me, and they quoted the same stuff, and guess what happened? They didn't win either. This stuff is nonsense. stuff is nonsense. I'm waiting for you to tell me which court case applies, because you have Shuttlesworth in here, and that absolutely doesn't apply. So what you're saying, I would like to just one court case, just show me one out of all this stuff that you've given me, one court case that you said applies.
Well, like I stated, Your Honor, that little paper always get people upset. That I send that one, but it hasn't been updated.
But you shouldn't send stuff that hasn't been updated to the court. But I'm just asking you one case. Tell me one case.
Well, here's where irony reaches peak levels. Mr. Lynch tries to quote Supreme Court cases to justify unlicensed driving, yet every case he cites proves the opposite. Judges call this legal irony at its finest, citing the law against yourself while claiming it supports you. It's a brutal reminder that research matters, not just confidence or boldness. Every citation must be relevant, current, and directly supportive. Otherwise, it just highlights your misunderstanding. For viewers, don't be this guy. Know your law, know your evidence, and never rely on wishful thinking in court.
Out of the stuff that you sent me that says it applies to you and your position of you not having have to have a driver's license.
The Law Depot document 3, that's what I send in.
I know, and you're saying, I'm asking you, out of this Law Depot document 3, you have Howlett versus Rose, Boyd versus United States, Murdoch versus Penn, Owens versus Independence, People versus Bottle Traffic. You have another, constitutional articles. Tell me one of these cases that applies to your position that you don't have to have a valid driver's license to drive on the road. Give me one. Howlett versus Rose. Federal Supreme Court case applied to state court cases. My traveling documents, Supreme Court rulings, and the United States Constitution of travel is in this attachment and others not included have been stolen, sold, or to duly shared. I don't know. Let's go with Howlett versus Rose. Let's see what that says. I got a few more minutes before I have to send everybody to lunch. I just want to know. I just want you to see how ridiculous this sounds. Let's go to the Law Depot document.
Yeah, you want procedurally?
You have to speak up loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. Procedurally, do you want to give him a court-appointed attorney? And we come back?
You know something? I don't want to waste the resources on the court because Mr. Lynch is probably going to present this to the court-appointed attorney. I can ask him whether he wants to, but if he presents this stuff to the court-appointed attorney, then they're probably going to come down on the same.
And
I can go into court records and find cases where the case was dismissed with the same issues I'm in.
The Howlett versus Rose case is fascinating, not because it helps Mr. Lynch, but because it highlights a huge misconception. The case involves a high school student suing a school board under 42 U.S.C. 1983 for due process violations, completely unrelated to driving. Mr. Lynch misapplies it to argue he doesn't need a license. For anyone studying law, this is a perfect example of how context matters. You can't transplant legal principles willy-nilly. Every case is bound by its facts, jurisdiction, and statutes. Judge Perkins knows this, and the audience is witnessing textbook misapplication of case law.
I will find a case and I will present it to you.
And he did indicate he was having a problem retaining counsel because they wouldn't accept his paperwork. So
Yeah, I see why. Howlett versus Rose. Rose was a case in which high school students sued the school board after his car was searched on school grounds and he was suspended from school. He sued under 42 USC 1983, which creates a remedy for violations of federal rights committed by persons acting under the color of state law. The student claimed he was suspended without due process because his car was searched in violation of the 4th and 14th Amendment. The court dismissed the complaint against the school board for lack of jurisdiction. Where does that say you don't have to have a valid license?
Your Honor, I will get up-to-date cases where court cases were dismissed with my same issue. I will get the court the up-to-date 2020 to 2024.
I believe it's a waste of time. What are we, today's the date time set for trial?
Yes, Your Honor. Do you want to take testimony right quick?
Now we're back to the trial versus plea dilemma. The court gives Mr. Lynch a chance to accept an offer or proceed to trial. For those following closely, this is a strategic moment. The court can save time and resources with a deal, but Mr. Lynch seems determined to test every pseudo-legal argument. It's a reminder that legal battles aren't just about evidence, they're about strategy. Would you gamble on trial when an offer is on the table? It's a question every viewer should consider. The risk-reward dynamic is real in any legal proceeding.
Do you want a trial, sir, or what do you want? I'm not. So you want a trial? We can take testimony now, or you can take the deal. This stuff that he's talking about that he's presenting to the court, I think is a waste of time.
I go to trial.
Your Honor, he did make a FOIA request for the video and those things. I think they should be presented before he goes to trial.
Yeah, I'll give him that. He did.
To wrap this up professionally, today, we watch Mr. Lynch's self-taught sovereign citizen arguments collide with reality. Judge Perkins dismissed irrelevant cases, clarified the law, and maintained control of the courtroom despite tech issues and pseudo-legal citations. The key takeaway? Confidence doesn't override precedent, and fantasy law has no standing in real courts. Transparency and procedure matter, but reckless filings do not. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.